I wrote this around 2001 and watched with increasing alarm as the disturbing 1980 warnings referenced herein have become even more disturbing realities. A true story. One beautiful fall night in 1980, I took an old friend to a lovely Stone Mountain home to hear Representative Larry McDonald deliver his close to 2-hour program on what some of us had come to believe was an ongoing secret plan, a conspiracy to so alter life in America and the free world that, were they to return, the Founding Fathers would find them virtually unrecognizable. The setting. There were about 50 of us in the spacious and comfortable basement recreation room. Larry began his customary comprehensive yet concise recap of a very complicated and convoluted topic shortly before 7:30. He wrapped up for Q&A around 9:15. Although I had wanted to remain and chat with Larry and the others, Al, who sat virtually motionless next to me for the entire presentation, insisted we leave immediately. Since he was my guest and I drove, we left. We'd been in the car for 3 or 4 minutes, and Al had still not spoken, but stared straight ahead. I glanced over each time we passed a streetlight and thought I saw him physically shake and clutch the door handle. Sensing there might be something wrong, I asked him, "Al, are you all right?" After a slight hesitation, a low quivering voice I'd never heard issued from this normally jolly friend of over a decade. "Dick, don't ever invite me to anything like that again." His response to my question of why was, "I can't deal with it." Al and I remained friends. He resumed his uncomplicated life of running his printing business, spending weekends at his lake house on his pontoon boat, and enjoying increased quantities of adult libations, for which increase I earnestly hoped Larry and I were not responsible. I continue to slug it out with this conspiracy. You see, I have children, and now grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, who will almost certainly not live in the America I knew as a boy growing up. As he often did, Larry McDonald told a story that night to illustrate the idea that we all have much to lose if this conspiracy, one American unit of which we now call the Deep State, succeeds. It seems 2 men were fishing in a boat a few miles from shore, in an area known for large sharks, when a large leak developed in the stern and water began flooding in. The man in the stern grabbed a bait bucket and began to furiously bail while asking his partner to help. The fellow in the bow pointed at the leak, chuckled, and declared, "That's not my problem. It's your end of the boat that's sinking," and he continued fishing. Neither man was ever seen again. We have more buckets. Would you like one? If you want to hear, and unlike Al, think you can handle, what Larry said that night, a version of his program can be found nearby on this site. Thank you for listening.